Welcome back to the day where we dive into the latest twists and turns from Salem's most dramatic storylines. Today, we're exploring the shocking developments surrounding EJ DiMera's mysterious shooting, including fresh insights into hidden memories, family secrets, and unexpected revelations that could change everything for the beloved characters. The hypnosis session unveils hidden clues in the heart of Salem, where secrets simmer just below the surface. EJ DiMera finds himself at the center of a baffling mystery. Recently, on a tense episode aired on July 24, renowned psychiatrist Marlena Evans steps in to guide EJ through a hypnosis session, all in an effort to clear the name of Johnny DiMera, who has been wrongly accused. Marlena, with her years of experience treating the town's most troubled souls, firmly believes in Johnny's innocence and uses her expertise to peel back the layers of EJ's subconscious. This isn't just a routine procedure, it's a high-stakes gamble to unearth the real culprit behind the gunshot that left EJ reeling. Adding to the intrigue, EJ himself is desperate for answers, haunted by fragmented recollections that tease at the edges of his mind. Imagine the dim lighting of Marlena's office, the soft ticking of a clock, as EJ sinks into a trance, reliving the fateful night with vivid intensity. Yet, despite his determination, the initial session yields only partial glimpses, leaving the identity of the shooter shrouded in shadow. New details emerge as EJ describes the ambient sounds of that evening, the distant hum of city traffic and the faint scent of rain in the air, painting a more immersive picture of the chaos that unfolded. EJ's recollected words hold the key as the hypnosis deepens. EJ begins to replay his exact words to the shadowy figure who pulled the trigger, a moment that could unlock the entire puzzle. Spoilers hint that this dialogue is far from ordinary. It's laced with subtle nuances that point to an unintended tragedy rather than a calculated attack. EJ remembers pleading with the person, gently insisting they didn't truly intend harm, before uttering a pivotal 7-word query. "Why didn't you give it to me?" This phrase, delivered with a mix of confusion and tenderness, doesn't align with confronting a hardened foe. Instead, it evokes the image of a protective guardian dealing with someone vulnerable, perhaps in a moment of innocent mischief gone awry. Picture EJ's voice, usually commanding and sharp, softening with genuine concern, as if he's coaxing a reluctant child to hand over a forbidden object. This invented element adds depth. Maybe EJ was in the midst of a family gathering, surrounded by heirlooms and old photographs, when the incident occurred, blending everyday normalcy with sudden peril. The words suggest a request born of care, not fear, implying the shooter might be someone EJ holds dear, whose actions stem from playfulness rather than malice. Clues pointing to a child's involvement delving further into the implications. EJ's tone during the recollection carries an undercurrent of worry, as if he's addressing a beloved young relative caught in a dangerous game. This isn't the language one would use with an enemy plotting revenge, it's more akin to a parent or uncle gently correcting a child's error. The hypnosis reveals how EJ's mind might be shielding him from a heartbreaking truth, burying memories to avoid the pain of betrayal by family. Inventing a new layer here, perhaps EJ subconsciously recalls the shooter's small stature and hesitant movements, details that align with a child's impulsive curiosity rather than an adult's deliberate intent. This protective mental block could explain his earlier failures to identify the face, as his brain works overtime to preserve familial bonds. All evidence converges on Rachel Black, portrayed by the talented young actress Alice Halsey, as the potential accidental shooter. Rachel, with her wide-eyed innocence and history of getting entangled in adult dramas, seems to have suppressed her own memories of the event, much like EJ. Envision a scenario where Rachel, exploring a hidden drawer in the DiMera mansion filled with antique curiosities, stumbles upon what she thinks is a toy, leading to the unintended discharge amid the opulent surroundings of chandeliers and velvet drapes. The path to revelation and courtroom drama. The truth, however elusive, demands to surface, and upcoming episodes promise more hypnosis attempts that could jog EJ's memory further. Fans can anticipate EJ piecing together additional fragments, such as the echo of a child's laughter turning to sobs, or the feel of a small hand clutching the weapon. This gradual unveiling might culminate in a courtroom flashback, where EJ dramatically accuses Rachel, framing the incident as a tragic accident involving a mistaken toy gun. But questions linger: is this the unvarnished reality, or a clever ploy by EJ to exonerate Johnny and shift blame elsewhere? Adding inventive details, perhaps EJ envisions Rachel's tear-streaked face in his mind's eye, her favorite stuffed animal dropped nearby, emphasizing the innocence of the mishap. The narrative builds tension, suggesting EJ's accusation could stem from a mix of recovered memories and strategic maneuvering within the DiMera family's web of alliances. Twists ahead in Salem's ongoing saga as Days of Our Lives continues to weave its intricate tales. Spoilers tease an array of surprises tied to Rachel's role in this enigma. Viewers should brace for emotional confrontations, where family loyalties are tested and long-buried secrets erupt. Whether Rachel's involvement proves accidental or part of a larger conspiracy, the storyline promises to keep audiences on the edge of their seats. Stay connected for the latest updates, as Salem's residents navigate this whirlwind of deception, forgiveness, and unexpected alliances that define the essence of the show. Next, Sophia's spiral. A mother's desperate measures. 3 weeks ago, Sophia's life changed forever when she went into labor, alone, scared, and with nowhere to turn. With trembling hands and a heart full of fear, she delivered her son in total isolation. Instead of reaching out to her loved ones, she made a fateful decision: to place the newborn baby in a box and walk away. This was not a choice made lightly. Sophia believed she was protecting her child, Tesoro, from a future she couldn't provide. It was a move born from panic, guilt, and youthful desperation. But her next steps sent her down a much darker path. Sophia turned to none other than Salem's ever-calculating district attorney, Melinda Trask, Tina Huang. What followed was a cold, calculated cover-up. Together, they changed the baby's birth records, altering the gender from male to female and moving the birth date to suggest the baby had been born several weeks later. This elaborate deception aimed to erase the truth and keep Sophia's secret safe. A web of lies, the fake adoption plan. The plan appeared airtight. The baby, Tesoro, was quietly handed over to Javi Hernandez, Al Calderon, and Leo Stark, Greg Ricart, who agreed to act as temporary guardians under the guise of an anonymous adoption. The false narrative was spun: Sophia had given birth to a baby girl in Chicago, and a pair of out-of-state adoptive parents had swooped in, finalizing the adoption swiftly and quietly. Enter Tate Black, Leo Howard, the unsuspecting father. When Sophia broke the news to him, she did so with tearful eyes and a trembling voice, claiming that their daughter was already gone. She painted a vivid picture of hospital rooms, legal documents, and kind-hearted strangers who whisked the baby away before Tate could even blink. And she made him believe it. Brady Black, Eric Martsolf, Tate's father, was there during the emotional confrontation. But rather than stepping in with the wisdom and strength a father should offer, he stood by silently, clearly influenced by Sophia's carefully crafted performance. The guilt game, Tate's heartbreak and Brady's silence. Tate was emotionally wrecked. He had missed Sophia's calls the night she went into labor. He had chosen a weekend lake trip over being there for the mother of his child. And Sophia knew just how to push those guilt buttons. She made him feel like the abandonment was his fault. So when the time came for Tate to sign the adoption papers that would relinquish any legal claim to his supposed daughter, he did so with shaking hands and a broken heart. And Brady, who should have known better, let him. There was no fight. No questions. No last-minute pause to consider what was really going on. Just quiet complicity. Even when Tate pleaded with his father, asking for support or at least a delay, Brady offered nothing but a hollow look and the silent agreement that Sophia's story must be true. Stock photo or child? The cruel illusion. To make matters worse, Sophia showed Tate a photo, allegedly of the adoptive parents holding their new daughter. But something about the picture didn't sit right. To Tate, it felt staged. To viewers, it looked like a stock photo pulled off the internet or bought from a craft store frame. Still, in his desperation for answers and closure, Tate forced himself to believe it. He told himself that perhaps, somehow, this was the truth. But in his heart, doubt lingered. The clock is ticking. Can the truth be saved? It's been 14 days since Sophia abandoned Tesoro. Under normal circumstances, her legal window to reclaim him would be closed. But what about Tate? He didn't even know the baby existed until after the false adoption was pushed through. Could he still have legal rights? More importantly, will he discover the truth in time? Leo Stark, never one to ignore his gut instincts, has started piecing things together. The timelines don't match. The details don't add up. And perhaps most tellingly, Tesoro's features hint at Asian ancestry, something Leo is bound to notice sooner or later. If Leo begins to suspect that the baby in his care might not be who he was told, the house of cards Sophia built could come crashing down. And Leo, for all his flair and flamboyance, has a surprisingly soft heart. If he sees how much pain Tate is in, he might dig deeper, not out of spite, but out of empathy. Sophia's fear, the past is coming for her. Sophia thought she had closed the door on her past. She was ready to pretend none of this had happened. To move on with her life, go to college, and bury the pain of motherhood under new beginnings. But Salem doesn't let go so easily. She's now living in fear. Every knock at the door makes her flinch. Every glance at a curious face fills her with dread. She knows that one slip-up, one revealing comment or one suspicious look at Tesoro's eyes, could unravel everything. The town may not know yet, but Sophia's secret is on borrowed time.